So he tried to write a letter to our dad. Our dad passed when I was like 20 months. Wale must have been about 2 or 3.
Okay.
So he tried to write a letter to our dad, and every time he would write, he would cry. So the film is about 2 kid brothers. They spend a day with their father, who they don't see very regularly. And then he takes them on a day trip into Lagos.
So I just want you to deep dive a little bit into
With
what
pleasure.
it means
Yeah.
for a movie to be independent.
Okay. So there's multiple tiers.
Shokwe Dirisu.
Yeah.
I would say an amazing actor.
Very,
Great-
very
great
amazing
actor.
Yeah.
But why him though? Because people would argue and say he wouldn't this is someone that is British born. He wouldn't necessarily be authentic to that kind of struggle.
Yeah.
This is where Lagos meets London. Where Peckham boys chilling in Sapa London. As Muritala Mohammed, Heathrow is where London Bridge links Third Milan Bridge via Goslow. This is where Lagos meets London.
What's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of Lagos Meets London. It's sunny in London today at H. Crazy.
It's sunny.
Yeah, the sun. Like
Nah, bro. There's no don't start saying it's sunny. It's not sunny. It's lying.
I'm not-
raining.
What do you spend a lot of time in London?
Yeah, I live here.
You live here. Whereabouts?
Elephant.
Oh, okay. So you know this is rare.
sunny.
I mean, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm
Okay,
going to
so
agree with you.
He's gonna
It's
Trust me,
raining.
because we'll go outside now and it will start raining.
It start
heavy,
raining,
so-
but it's not going to rain today.
You're one of
Hopefully,
those
I haven't
people
jinxed
that they
it.
say
It's
they
going
see
to
a little
rain.
sun and you get excited. don't
I spread my clothes outside today.
Hey.
I like.
man, get home quick, bro.
I spread my clothes outside today. I was so excited. Yeah, welcome back, people, to Where Lagos Meets London. We've got an exciting episode for you today. As you know, this is Where Lagos Meets London, where we continue to celebrate
Bridge the gap.
Nigerian creatives of Nigerian origin, in the diaspora. My name is OJ for the new ones, and I've got my brother to my left,
Akin,
repping
the host,
London,
the one and only. You know the vibe each and every time.
Northwest London.
No, I'm not from Northwest. I'm from London.
You're from
I'm
London.
from London.
All right.
I mean, I live in Birmingham now still. So just because you don't know, people are trying to find me on this.
They're trying to lock in your movements.
But yeah, man. Today's episode.
Guys, today we've got a creative that embodies the cultural exchange between Nigeria and the UK.
Yes.
We can say his talent is very, very immense, and we're very grateful to be able to sit down and have this conversation with a Nigerian brother. Apparently born in London. I never knew.
I didn't even know
I
that.
didn't know it was in London. Yeah.
You lived in London. I was like, oh, swear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone that's very talented. Once again, testament to the cultural exchange between the UK and Nigeria. BAFTA winner amongst many other awards.
Say that again, bro. You didn't. The B wasn't.
Okay,
capital.
sorry. British Academy Film and Television Award.
Okay, break it down. I don't know.
BAFTA winner for his amazing movie,
Yes.
My Father's Shadow. And we've got Akinola Davies Jr. with us here with Lagos Meets London today.
Yes.
Always get this
I appreciate the intro, man. I appreciate you
Like,
guys.
How does it feel?
You know
Fresh
what?
off the BAFTA. That was 2 days ago.
How does
Wait,
it
what's today? What's today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
And you won.
3 days ago. 3 days
Was it
ago.
Monday or Sunday?
It was Sunday.
Okay, the event wasn't Sunday, but they released.
Yeah, so the event was on Sunday, and then the news started coming out around like Sunday evening.
Okay.
But then people probably like clocked Monday, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. How does it feel?
How does it feel?
Do you know what? Like, if I'm being really real, like I haven't had a moment to really process, because our film is in cinemas at the moment, and we have like another maybe like week and a half in cinemas. So my whole focus is on trying to just promote the film and get people to cinema.
Get people to go.
Do you know what I
watch
mean?
it,
Because our film is an independent film, and when you see like independent film numbers versus the big commercial film
Of
numbers,
course,
hey,
different.
it's humbling.
It's different.
It's
isn't it?
humbling.
It's different.
So every little helps. So I've just been prior to the BAFTAs, we already had a plan for how this week was gonna work. So I've just been focused on that. But next week, me and my brother are going away. We're going a small little writing vacation. So
to get back to work.
to get back to work, bro. Yeah,
Just
man.
like that.
We have to get back to work. Yeah.
That's
Because the thing is, the film, it could take anything from like a year to 3 years to even write a film, you know? So like we need to sort of just get back in the frying pan.
Did you know you were going to win before?
Do you know what? I didn't think I was going to win.
Okay.
I thought another film was going to win. I know our film bangs. I know our film's good.
Yeah.
But like you can never sometimes that doesn't really count for anything. Sometimes it can be quite random how these things work out.
Yeah, like the Grammys.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just never know.
Exactly. There's always a surprise in store somewhere. So I was hopeful that we could win, but I wasn't expecting us to win.
Okay, so it's not like you know. So you just went there.
You just went.
Yeah.
If we win, we win.
If we win, we win.
We're happy we're here.
Yeah, I just went to have a good time. I was like, I want to enjoy this.
Was that your first time at the BAFTAs, or you attended as a guest before?
I've attended as a guest before,
Okay.
but I've also been nominated before. But the
Okay.
year I was nominated was COVID, so
Oh, there was no. You couldn't.
yeah.
yeah, nothing was done basically. So this was the first time I was there as a nominee with a project, with the possibility of winning something.
I wanna talk about the styling though.
Jesus, it's like Nigerian excellence.
Like you know, said, you know what, we're gonna show up and show out.
Show out. Even though we don't know we're gonna win or not,
but you know what I mean. We have to
gonna
dress like we
represent.
won already.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
real,
How
man.
did the style? Who styled you? How did the styling come about? Or did you style yourself?
No. I work with a stylist, my Congolese brother. His name is Rudy Simba Betty. He's like, the guy is super talented, man.
I've got
Everybody.
beef with Congolese people.
Hey, we have to squash the beef. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I forgive them for
What's the beef?
for that styling that he put you.
Oh, you're talking about the football.
the football. I got serious beef with them. They ruined my summer.
See, do you know what? I would go as far as saying we ruined our summer. We ruined our own summer.
We should be at the World Cup.
If we were on job from the beginning,
Yeah.
we would be
agree.
there easily, basically.
I agree.
You can't blame those guys. When you leave scraps on the table and
course,
someone
they're
comes
gonna-
and eats it, you can't blame them.
Can't blame them.
They too were hungry. We should have finished everything.
Finished
on the table.
Our
everything.
dinner, yeah.
Exactly. We should
But
have finished
like
our
he said, he
dinner.
made up for it. They've made up.
They made up for it with
They
us,
styled
yeah.
our brother and they.
Yeah,
you know,
100%, man.
That was dope, man.
100%.
You lot looked really, really, really fly, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
appreciate
okay.
that, man. Appreciate
Are you a
it.
fashion? You seem like a fashion guy. Anyone that wears quarter zip, yeah. Anyone that wears quarter zip on a random day, they're a fashion nigga. Trust me.
Yeah, man. I like to dress well, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, me and my brother, we always say like drip or die, like
Wow.
Regardless.
regardless, you have one life to live. So you have to represent, do you know what I mean? It's not like like we dress like that every day, but I knew I was coming to see you guys. So I was like, let me.
You thought did you think they were girls? Yeah. Our film in
you know what? I'm always up to, there was girls downstairs. So
It's like I'm living with something. Yeah, so guys, we're gonna get let's play a fun game just to sort of get us into my father's shadow.
Yeah.
So obviously I was growing up in a Nigerian household. I wanted to ask you guys 3 things that you feel like that you've learned from your upbringing as a Nigerian man that you would like to pass on to your son, potentially when you have a son.
oh wow.
What are the 3 things? You can write it down. Whilst everyone's writing theirs down, I'll just let the people know to subscribe. Make sure you're liking the videos, you're commenting. We've got some other episodes out that you can also check out. Amazing episodes. Watch those ones after you've listened to this conversation. And our conversations are also on audio streaming platforms and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever your preference is. Yeah.
3 things.
I've got my 3.
You've got your 3.
I got my
That's
three.
a well-grounded Nigerian man.
You want a BAFTA? How can you
My 3.
quickly?
All right, give us one of the 3 that you would like to pass on to your son.
I would say it's our sense of humor.
What?
That's a very good one, you know.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a very my son cannot not be funny, man.
No, but my son is a clown. You know.
Yeah.
He is funny, so it's yeah.
It's a sense of humor.
Yeah,
I agree
sense
with
of
that.
humor,
Yeah,
for sure. You want another one?
yeah. Let's.
I'd say maybe a sort of hustle mentality,
Okay.
basically.
Resilience.
you
That was
know.
one of mine too. So
Yeah, like resilience.
double
I'd probably
down.
say
Resilience,
resilience as well. And then maybe the third one is kind of that one I had it, but now it's gone.
I say discipline.
Uh-huh.
With discipline, definitely. In my household, discipline was a very was a very strong thing in regardless of whatever happens, you should always be disciplined to know to carry on. So that goes with hand in hand with the hustle mentality and respect. Respect, definitely.
Double down on respect too, but obviously I was watching a video the other day on socials and they're saying like, obviously I want my kids to respect me. I want my kids to always, my son especially, when he's out in public presenting in a way where it's very respectful, but still be able to stand up for himself if someone's trying to take the piss. So obviously I'm open to try and find a balance where it's a dialogue kind of thing. It's not like the kind of respect that we grew up with in a Nigerian household. I don't know if it's the same with you, where wherever your parents say is they're the judge, they're the jury, they're God in the household.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of, okay, I'll respect you, but there's always a platform for a dialogue. We can have a conversation about whatever it is. Yeah. So I'll double down on respect in that aspect. And I'll say taking care of women. Nigerian men, we know how to take care of women.
Everything we always relates back to women.
Yes, but we know, but it's the truth though. Nigerian men know how to take care of women.
No, of course.
Like if you look around you, like from my uncles, even from my dad, no matter how bad like the public conception is about Nigerian men know how to take care of women. We always look out for women. That's one thing I would translate to my son. Yeah.
I think my last one would be learning my traditional language. I'd like my son to.
We were speaking about that the other day.
Episode. Yeah. 2 episodes. Yeah.
2 episodes.
I can't speak. I can understand Yoruba, but I can't speak it very well. And obviously, I don't have a lot of opportunities to speak it as much living here.
Yeah, well, okay, let them know your name in Yoruba.
Oruko mi ni Akinola Davies Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bolongbeni ilu London.
Mungbe Elephant and Castle.
Okay. For you, at least there's something for you to pass.
Yeah, but no, I understand. If people speak slow, I understand. Like, and obviously, if they don't blow the big Yoruba grammar, I understand. But I also want to, like, one of my best friends, he's doing Yoruba lessons. Okay. And I think that's something I want to try and do as well. I don't need to know how to write or whatever, but I just want to learn how to speak it just for my own clarity. Because my brother Wale can speak fluent Yoruba.
Fluent.
Like
fluent,
fluent,
did you grow up here, done everything here?
I lived here till I was 13.
Then
I've been in the UK since. I grew up in Nigeria till I was 13 and then I've been in the UK since.
Okay.
Oh, swear.
So
it's the other way. Yeah.
Did you grow up in Lagos?
I grew up, pretty much in Lagos.
So your Lagos met London when you were 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Bagada,
phase 2. So my brother had quite similar. We all went to school in Nigeria. Then he came here when he was about 15.
Okay.
And then went to Amsterdam for a bit, but just wasn't feeling Europe, and then came back to Nigeria like a long time ago.
Wow. I would think, obviously, most people know your brother because of Show Them Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think he was like a proper Nigerian. I didn't know you guys had that strong kind of ties to London, to the UK.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Where your parents, did they migrate here? Were they born here or?
No, so my parents, they came to university here. I think my mom went to like a polytechnic in I want to say either like Luton or one of those places basically. And then I think they were just, and I don't know where my dad went to university, but I think he also I know he went to King's College in Nigeria, but I don't know where he went to here. But what they did was they other than my sister, the rest of us were born here.
Okay.
So we all had they were cognizant enough that if we're born here, we'll get British passports.
So it just makes life a bit easier.
Yeah. And
wait, so you was born here?
I was born here. The only person that wasn't born here was my sister.
So you was born here, then you went back to Nigeria.
Came back at 15 years old.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can still see the Niger. That's what I was thinking.
It's still there.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's definitely it can pass as a Lagos boy.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
It's just code switching. I can code switch very seamlessly.
I hear it.
Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
It kind of depends who I'm speaking to, and then just kind of switch it.
Blend.
Yeah, for sure.
So June 1993, that's when our father's shadow was set. So what I've done is I've gone and I've just done a research in terms of things outside of, obviously we know about the political riots. Outside of that, the other things that were happening at that time in the UK,
Around.
and then just around in terms of like entertainment,
Nice.
pop culture
Nice.
and stuff. So I'll just read a couple of things out and then
Okay,
we can
dope.
sort of discuss and speak about it.
Dope.
What do you guys think was the prime minister then? Well, what was you doing in June 1993, Aka?
June 1993. Let me tell you what I was doing. Wait, I didn't even. I was still in my mum's belly.
That's what I say.
I was born November 1993. I was
Wow.
still in my mum's belly. I was,
November,
yeah, I was getting ready to come out.
March 1993. So probably my mom was somewhere. They were still breastfeeding me.
Well, okay.
Yeah, March 93.
That's
So in
crazy,
June,
though.
yeah, March, April, May. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you still breastfeed babies at 3 months?
Yeah. I think you can breastfeed babies for.
Talking about
for a while,
I'm just
yeah.
making sure.
Would you want to get them pounded
You
down?
don't let them fend for themselves.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Though.
How about you? June 93.
Yeah, I would have been 8 years old, maybe. I would have been 8 years old. I would have been.
Wait, so how old are you?
I'm 40.
No way, man.
Yeah.
No way. Bro,
way,
I've lived life in the wrong way.
Hold on.
I have lived life
There is
in the
no
wrong
way you are 40 years old.
Yeah, man. There's every way I'm 40 years old. Yeah.
4-0.
4-0.
No way,
Big
man.
As in
4-0.
after
They made-
39.
They made, you know
Yeah,
what
well,
happened?
no,
I know what
because
happened.
After 39 and before 41. Yeah.
Is he 40 years old?
They were, no, I know what happened, H. You know what happened? You know,
That's
back then
crazy.
in the UK,
The water was different.
the system was different. They switched his birth certificate. And
I'll take it.
And his parents just ran with it
I'll
because
take it.
it's the same thing on the British
When
passport
you asked
already.
him what was he
I'll
doing
take
in June 1993, I thought he was going to say something called, I just came out, I was just born.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna say-
I would have been 8. Yeah, I would have been
That's mental.
7 or 8 years old, something like that. Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
I did not. That is not. In my head, I'm thinking, bro, it's 35, maybe 36.
No, we get that a lot. I get that a lot.
So how old is your brother?
He's like a couple years older than me.
Okay,
That's
just a couple
crazy.
years. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's cool. wow. I
uh,
need to double down on whatever. Whatever we'll talk
whatever
off camera.
whatever is using.
Yeah.
So about when we get to 40, we
I
have
need
to
to
be.
be like that.
Yeah.
You have to stay fresh, man.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So what
Eat
would
your
you say you were doing?
vegetables. Eat your vegetables. What were we doing? So around that time, we would have still lived in Nigeria. We lived in Bagada. 1993, there was an election coming, so everybody was like pretty excited. But yeah, I would have been 8 years old, so good school. I was probably either in Green Springs, Montessori, or Corona Bagada. I don't remember what class I would have been in then, but yeah, then you go home. What TV starts at like 4 or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
This is mad.
Yeah, man.
TV starts.
TV starts. Yeah.
It starts.
Yeah.
So what was on the screen then?
Nothing.
Before 4 p.m.
Nothing.
Nothing was
When you switch it on, you just shh.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like literally, sometimes maybe we'd get home at 3, so you'd have an hour. You know,
Okay, so
that's the hour you're
get
supposed
ready.
to do your homework.
Okay.
And
TV comes on.
before the TV comes on, if there's light, you know what I mean?
It's true.
You know what I mean? Then the TV will come on. So the first 2 hours first 3 hours up to like, or 2 hours, maybe 4, whatever, they do, it's like kids' TV, cartoons, And then about 5 or 6, the news is on. That's when TV is dead. That's when, you know what I mean? So at 8, but maybe around 10, 11, we got like multi-choice. So then you could watch Mnet or whatever, you know, like sports channels and all that.
Was DSTV around at that time?
Yeah, so multi-choice precedes DSTV. So it was multi-choice, then it became DSTV. Yeah.
History lesson. So when it comes to culture and entertainment, I'll start from culture and entertainment. In June 1993, before Afrobeats, we had Lagos nightlife was ruled by King Sunny Ade.
Mm-hmm.
Ebenezer Obey,
Mm-hmm.
and we had And we had Wasiu and Marshall. Yeah, so Fuji especially was huge in the working class in Lagos. Street parties, political rallies, clubs, and naming ceremonies.
Yeah.
Naming ceremonies. That's a serious event.
Yeah.
in Lagos.
There's also a guy called Lagbaja. Do you know him?
Yeah, we know. I don't know Lagbaja. So was Lagbaja big then too?
Yeah, he was big, man, because his whole thing was like you never knew who he was because he wore a mask.
Yeah.
And he like played the saxophone. So he was like
Very melodic. A lot of love songs. I mean, I was very young when I would listen to his songs. My parents would play it in the car, like driving when they were dropping me off in school. But I remember the tunes and everything. Yeah. So Fela was still alive, although he was now.
He wasn't as popular as
he
is now.
Yeah, he was pretty much getting to the end of his life. He died 3 years later, in 1997.
Wait, in 1993, he wasn't as popular as
No. It was just
popular.
Do you know? In fact, to give you guys a small history lesson, like Fela was, for much of the time I lived in Nigeria, like it wasn't cool to say you like Fela or listen to Fela.
Swear.
Yeah, because Fela was basically,
calling out everybody.
Yeah, he was a bit of an antagonist. He liked to like rub people up the right or wrong way, depending on how you thought about Fela. But also, at that time, maybe it's gonna come out in your notes. The military like did a very good job of like oppressing him and assassinating his character. So I think in Nigerian culture, if you're assassinated, if your character has been assassinated, he's a philanderer, he smokes weed, he lives with like hoodlums, like live in his estate, like so. Nigerian culture is very much about status. It's about like, keeping up with the Joneses, like, all that kind of stuff. So nobody wanted to associate with somebody who was considered like a reprobate in society. And Fela was very famous in like the late 70s, early 80s, like his sound was more popular, in fact, or more accessible outside of Nigeria. He was more popular outside of Nigeria than he was in Nigeria. Wow. Yeah. At least in the early 90s. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's serious lesson. So
that's just to say, that's why when people talk about, I did a small documentary about Fela. I interviewed Femi and Sheung, and we spoke about their father, and what Sheung said to me was what I remembered of Fela, that it was not cool to be Fela's son, because people like police used to raid their house and all that kind of stuff. So like the way like people talk about Fela and how he's coming back into like the has a lot more cultural currency now.
Yeah.
Is what happens posthumous, like once you're dead,
then everybody
completely.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Wow. History
they just gave him a Grammy.
Who, Fela?
Yeah, that's why his son was there. Was he the oldest one?
Yeah, his daughter, all of them were there. They gave him a lifetime achievement award at the Grammy. I don't know if the Grammys have happened, right?
Yeah.
At the Grammys
it's this year. That's the one where Tyler won over David. Yeah, it was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does say the culture of symbol resistance, voicing against military rule, and moral references about like his character, like smoking weed and like indecent dressing and all of that stuff, which doesn't, I mean, with Nigerian culture growing up, we know.
Because Fela just used to wear like pants.
Even on stage.
That's it. He used to smoke big, massive joints, and he would just be in his pants all day. Like, I didn't dress, if someone came to visit him, like there's documentaries.
Yeah, I see a video.
The guy's just in his pants. Yeah. For real.
So Nollywood, we all love Nollywood. Nollywood was about to explode.
Yeah, it was in its infancy.
So they said living in bondage. I don't know if you know that film.
That film is incredible.
It's one of the most popular like Nigerian movies. It's like VHS. Booming.
There's a really good podcast about living in bondage.
It's really?
Yeah, really good. Mubi actually did a podcast about it, and they said in that period of time there was like a big economic boom for like Nigerians. Yeah. That's because like people were becoming entrepreneurs and like becoming rich overnight. So people assume that like, this guy that I saw a few months ago didn't have money, now he's rich. He must have done a blood sacrifice. So that's what they believe people were doing because of oil and petroleum and all those things were becoming big. So people were becoming like multi-millionaires overnight.
I think transport too was becoming very, very
exactly.
Yeah.
So there was an assumption that all these people had done like deals with the devil and blood money or whatever. So that's how living in bondage, the story of living in bondage came, that like this person had done a deal.
I'll check that podcast out.
Yeah, I'll find it and send it to you.
It's
guys.
just very,
good.
I don't know if you guys have seen that video that this guy, his name is Olisa or something, where he just went in depth into like our wealth in the 1940s circulated around Nigeria. Have you seen that video on socials? It's been going around. I'll share it with you after.
Please.
Some of our stories, we need to sort of archive, document, and then always make sure we're relaying our
100%.
stories. Like all the things that you said about living in bondage, I just know it as Money Ritual movie.
Yeah.
But I don't understand this.
The context.
The context.
Yeah.
So TV and media culture, NTA dominated.
Yep.
Like you said,
So that was the TV. You would always, they would do the theme song of the NTA before it came on.
Yeah. So there's foreign content that, like you said, with Mnet and stuff, just started coming into Lagos at that time. And then, in terms of the London aspect, Oasis were forming. Oasis, do you know?
Oasis,
yeah.
The band, are they rock?
They're like indie rock, I would say they're indie rock,
Shaggy's early presence in the UK, dancehall, jungle, those were the things that were very imminent. And Jurassic Park premiered in 1993.
Incredible.
That's one of the best movies.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one, the very first one is.
You had to be there, guys. You had to be there.
Jurassic Park. I only just watched it recently.
Yeah,
but the first one is
the
a
first
movie.
Jurassic Park was mad. Like it was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. You know, because how they did the animatronics for those dinosaurs.
It was mental.
Crazy. In the cinema, like people were screaming, bro.
That's mad.
Yeah. It's one of the best ones, the OG Jurassic Park. I don't know if it's aged well, but it was.
I don't think it's.
Yeah, because I think the technology has moved on or whatever. But
No, most definitely.
Man. Steven Spielberg in the 90s, you know Steven Spielberg, he was in his bag. Whoever, I don't know who's the equivalent of him now, but maybe Christopher Nolan. Yeah, maybe Scorsese or Christopher Nolan. But in the 90s, Steven Spielberg had everyone in a chokehold, man. Like Jaws. I think Jaws maybe the 80s, maybe, right? Maybe the
Jaws
80s.
Is crazy.
He did E.T.
E.T.
Did Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
You know, he did Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that's another good movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just hit after hit after hit he had, man.
I got a question, quickly.
Yeah.
You see, because for a lot of people, when people say an independent movie, obviously, have you watched Three Cold Dishes?
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you heard of it? Though?
No.
Three Cold Dishes is a movie that was done by a director in Nigeria. I saw that Burna Boy executive produced.
Okay, wow.
But I was part of the promotional stuff on that, and when he said that it was independent, I really saw how independent it is. Because from a consumer, you'll see the movie and think, oh, it's a cinema.
Yeah.
He's got millions. So I just want you to deep dive a little bit into
With
what
pleasure.
it means
for
a movie to be independent.
Okay. So there's probably there's multiple tiers, but from my understanding of how it works, there's only really two tiers, right? There's like big studio movies. So you're thinking Warner Brothers, Universal, Paramount. Yeah. Like, you know, when you watch the film and it comes on 20th Century Fox, like at the beginning of Simpsons, all that stuff. Those are the big studios, you know? And basically the big studios, they have the power and the clout that when they make something, they can put it in every cinema, right?
Okay.
Right? And they can also, that's how you see it on buses, the adverts on buses. That's how you see them, the trailers before the film. That's how you see, like now you see Leonardo DiCaprio going on a press tour and they do all those things. Or A24. A24 is considered an indie, but they're kind of getting to studio level or whatever. So that's the big guys. You know, let's just say that's the Champions League, right? Yeah. Let's use an analogy. That's the Champions League.
He's a football
right?
guy.
Yeah. So indie is probably like, let's put it in Premier League, but there's like top of the league, and then there's like mid, and then there's like bottom of the league, right? So let's say Parasite. Did you see Parasite? Is the South Korean film that won the Academy Award?
No, I didn't see it, but I've seen a
Okay.
trailer of it. I've seen it on Instagram.
Let's say maybe in South Korea, I don't know what their system is, but that because it's a foreign language film, it's probably in that independent range,
bracket,
right?
Yeah, okay.
But it's probably closer towards the top of the league because it's like very supported where it's from
And Aston Villa.
and all that kind of stuff. No, I'd probably say it's more like current day Man United.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shit.
That's-
Man United is definitely.
Hey, we
one
don't
of
even want to
us.
get into
You're
the
an
team.
Arsenal
No, I'm not even. I'm a
Chelsea.
closet Arsenal fan, but my team. Once I say my team, you guys won't take me seriously anymore. So
Definitely, it's Man City.
no, it's not Man City.
Chelsea.
You won't guess the team.
Millwall.
What is in Premier League?
It's in the Premier League. Let me finish the analogy.
Go.
But but Man United fans,
derailed
feel
though.
free to come for him, bro. I'm 100% sure
No,
Man
but
United is
Yeah, but
one
that's
of
a good
Bros.
thing.
Yeah,
though.
but
That's not
it's
Man
true.
United is one
Man
of Bros.
United are 8th in the league
No,
not now.
right now.
No,
Yeah,
we're fourth.
no. Now we're fourth.
Now we're fourth.
yeah, but anytime you could be 8th in the league. Do you know
I
what
understand.
I heard that.
Let's not- let's not-
based on his
let's not-
analysis.
Let's
go
not
off
digress
track.
from the
Let's
analogy.
not go off track.
Okay.
Okay. So then you have an independent film. I'm trying to think of. Did you guys see Rye Lane?
Yes, I
Okay.
did see
so
Rye
Rye
Lane.
Lane is
Like a love story.
yeah, the love story.
Yeah.
So Rye Lane is, or even Blue Story, Rap Man. Those films were acquired by big studios.
Even I would say,
But
wait,
it
what's the
started
most
off
recent one?
It started off independent. So how cinema works is like the studios can either they have IP, a book or a story, and then you come and you make it with the studio. There's no questions asked. You take the paycheck, you do a good job, whatever. They pump it out. Whereas like what independent cinema has to do is you have to raise money. You ask BFI, you ask BBC, maybe a movie will give you money. And then you write your own story and then you sort of put it out. So Rye Lane was built in that way,
Okay.
but that it was acquired by
a studio.
and then it was put out. So that's why it had a lot of reach. I can't remember if it's Focus or whoever did it, but that's kind of how it works. So then you have, so who did I say is Man United again? I said, okay.
The Indies.
Yeah, so I'm actually complimenting Parasite. Maybe it's the Man United that you were. So where are you? You're fourth.
We're fourth.
Okay, so let's just say it's Man United now. Let's say it's Man United. So Rye Lane is like is Villa.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
definitely. Rye Lane is Villa.
Rye Lane
Rye
is
Lane's
Villa.
Villa level. Yeah.
And then because they've been acquired by a big studio.
Yeah.
So my film is probably like a Fulham,
Okay.
right? We're not bottom of the league.
But you're doing well.
We're doing well.
in the Premier League.
We're in the Premier League. We're consistent. We make the most of what we have.
You can win an
Players-
FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which-
or like Crystal Palace last
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
You can win it with without losing Mateta and Eze and all that. Like
Yeah.
so you can the potential of winning an FA Cup or qualifying for Europe, something
Okay.
like that.
That makes
Winning
sense.
a BAFTA, exactly.
Yeah.
For
Which is
example, do you know what I mean?
So what's the biggest? So just when you mentioned
Sure.
BAFTA, what's the biggest award a film can get? Is that
It depends how you see it, but I think by every metric, it's probably the Oscars.
Oscars. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
Oscars.
So
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
so the Oscars is the more or less the American equivalent of the BAFTAs, right?
okay?
But because it's America, it's a bigger market.
Yeah.
Is what everybody knows. It's the
global.
most famous
And
one.
it's more-
Because there's also
studio movies,
independent films can win.
but it's hard.
Is a real success story if an independent film wins an Academy Award. So like Anora was considered an independent
Okay.
film,
okay.
right? So that won the Academy Award for Best Picture, I think last year. So it just depends. Maybe Anora was acquired or whatever, but yeah, sometimes it does happen. It's not very often that it happens, but
If
it can happen. Yeah, but for example, the Europeans, they have their own Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows about it, but they have their own Academy Awards. France has their own. They're called the Césars or whatever. So everybody has one, but the biggest one is the Oscars, and then maybe the BAFTAs is probably second-ish or.
Yes, there's second.
There's that, but then you have Golden Globes, you have
Golden
Critics'
Globes,
Choice,
yeah.
and then maybe the BAFTAs is maybe in that bracket, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
I would maybe say. Just in terms of what people know, not necessarily.
Popularity.
Yeah.
And you had to put your own money up
Not,
at first.
not me personally.
No, not you, but initially.
So the way my film was funded was public funding. It's like BBC, BFI, National Lottery.
Okay.
And then Mubi came on board as a distributor. So Mubi are the ones that have the film, put the film in cinemas in the UK and America.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
it's a
But
process.
Mubi are not like Universal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
They
the
can,
reach is...
yeah, they have reach, but like we're not going to be in 2,000 cinemas on opening day. No.
Not like big
It's more like we're in seven cinemas, you know, across America or something, and then expands and
How
expands.
many cinemas
expands.
are you in here?
In the UK, on opening day is 67. So not bad. Like it's pretty good, you know.
That's sick.
So but that's the thing. Like it's a lot of information that even I'm finding out as I'm going along, because I just assumed, we're gonna be in all the audience, all the views, all the multiplexes, and you're like, nah. Like, you know, you have to. The cinemas want films that are gonna bring audiences in. And the films that bring audiences in tend to be the studio ones because they have massive marketing budgets. So take Wuthering Heights that just came out. All the press that you've seen for it or whatever, I think their opening day, they took like 7 mil. Do you know what I mean? So like I get the numbers. I get the numbers every day. The first few days I was like, like, why am I getting the numbers? But for me, I think it's interesting because it makes me a lot more realistic.
No, of course.
Of what we're trying to do, and also puts an emphasis on why it's really important to support films like our film or independent films, because we're not competing for the same thing.
Of
you
course,
know, like
100%.
the fact that I've won a BAFTA is probably like saying saying Fulham qualified for the Champions League or Fulham are in the Champions League race. Because who we're up against is kind of different.
lit.
Yeah, because when I said, wow,
that's my team, by the way. So
Fulham's a good team though. Fulham is a good team.
man.
It's in a nice area. You don't have hooligans. It's a very good, but Fulham is a nice posh team. It's a nice, it suits your aesthetic.
And we have a history of, at least now we have Niger boys holding it down.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. You know,
So were you supporting them recently, or it's been time?
It's been time. Okay. I got into, if I'm honest, I got into football in 93.
Wow.
That's the year Nigeria won the Nations Cup. Oh, they won in 94, early 94, but it was a 93 Nations Cup. They won in Tunisia, Okocha, Keshi, Akini, Olise, Siasia, Amunike, all those guys. It was like it was like the fat Ronaldo version of Nigeria, like just ballers, like, do you know what I mean? And the football they played was mad. So 94, first time Nigeria went to the World Cup. That's when I got radicalized into football, like
properly.
You know, because we destroyed Bulgaria. I don't even know the other team we played, but we flogged them in the World Cup. And we were just the most gisty team. Like every goal was a mad dance celebration. Just vibes. Like Nigeria was just so vibes. And that's the first time I'd ever seen Nigeria on any world stage, like period.
Like that.
Yeah, we were just smashing it. And then we played Argentina. That was Maradona's last game in the World Cup in an Argentinian shirt. It was probably against Nigeria because he got banned for taking cocaine. And he got kicked out of the tournament. And then we played, I think we lost to Italy.
I think was it Italy? Yeah, my dad used to tell me the story.
Yeah, because Italy, they got to the final.
Yeah. My dad used to tell me it was like a 1-0 something.
They beat us luckily. Luckily beat us.
They even said if there was VAR, that goal was offside.
Yeah, man.
So just going back to the movie, My Father's Shadow, amazing movie.
Thank you.
I've just knowing we were coming today, I've spoken to people that have gone to the cinema just to watch it, and just mostly the Nigerian diaspora. Yeah, they're very keen to just understand that story in itself. So just to give whoever hasn't watched it, just to give context about this, what it's about.
Yeah.
Your brother wrote it.
Yes.
Right? Is this, and it is like a mix between like real life events and obviously fiction.
Yes.
So is this something that, where do you think the inspiration came from for your brother to write such an amazing story?
Sure. So my brother lives in Lagos, and he said he moved back to Nigeria a long time ago to do SDC. So my mom, she wanted to rap. My mom was like, "Hey," you know. But he was very consistent.
Shout out SDC though.
Yeah, man. Shout out
amazing
SDC.
song.
Legends,
man. Shout out SDC.
So, but yeah, he moved back to Nigeria, and I think earning money. He was like, he wrote some screenplays for like Nigerian TV, and they thought it was incredible. And he was like, really? Like, it's the first time I've ever written anything. So he, I think he was watching Oprah or something like that. And there was a prompt to write a letter to like a bereaved friend or family. So he tried to write a letter to our dad. Our dad passed when I was like 20 months. He must have been about 2 or 3.
Okay.
So he tried to write a letter to our dad, and every time he would write, he would cry. So then eventually he, I think he said he tried about 8 or 9 times, crying. And then eventually he was just like wrote what it would have been like to spend a day with our father.
Crazy.
So that was like, he wrote a screenplay. It must have been like 20 pages. Put my name in as a character. I didn't put his name in, but like obviously I knew the other character was supposed to be him. And then he sent it to me. Like no context, no information, no nothing. Hey, I wrote something, like read. I read it and like I just broke down. I think I just cried for like half an hour, 45 minutes, just in my bed, just in the middle of the day, just crying. And then I called him. I was like, yo, like how far? Like, like what is this? And he was like, oh, like I can't remember the conversation we had, but he just effectively, he's been writing and he wrote something. He wrote it with a thing like, do I think it's good? I was like, do I think it's good? I think it's incredible, because, I'm named after my father. I'm the youngest child in my family. I'm the youngest man in my family. There's me, my brother, and we have an older brother and my sister. And normally if you're going to name somebody junior, it would be the
first one.
First one, right? So,
That's true.
So effectively like, me hearing my name or telling people my name in public when I would go to parties in Lagos with my mom or with my friends, the response was always so random to me. Like people will hug me, people will embrace me. Oh, you're Akin's brother, Akin's son. We loved, we loved your father. He was like a brother to us. He used to take care of us, take us around in his car. He would come and pick us up. And I'm just like, I don't know you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like why are you?
It's just my name.
Yeah, like why are you touching me? Like, relax. You know what I mean? But so I never really thought of my father outside of those interactions.
Okay.
I never really thought of like, oh, like. Maybe he's unsure of himself. Maybe he's vulnerable. Maybe he's like shy. Maybe he's angry or whatever. It never crossed my mind. So when I read what my brother wrote, he just gave him a personality. And whether that personality was real or not, it's just the fact that like, at the age I was when I read it, I just never conceived of my father's personality. And here is my brother writing something based on stories that we knew were in our family. Like there's a story in the film how my brother got his name because my father's brother drowned actually in one Easter break or something, and then Wale put that in the script in like in a story in the film and stuff like that. And then he put other just like little bits and pieces in the film borrowed from family. Obviously it's fiction, so a lot of it is made up or but borrowing from family. So he did that, and then fast forward a few years later, because what had happened is I was assisting these guys called Tim and Barry. Have you heard of them?
Tim and Barry.
So Tim and Barry, they used to shoot loads of things on YouTube. They used to shoot like grime things, like Temper T, JME, all this stuff. So I used I used to assist them basically. But while he was doing music, then he started directing music videos. And then I was still assisting around the time he sent me the script. Then it kind of flipped. I started directing and he was mainly doing music stuff. So around that time, I got an opportunity to make a short film. I mean, there's a longer story here, but the short version of the story is because I was making music video films for like all these like random artists and stuff. I was trying to make one for this artist called Mika Levi. And Mika Levi is an incredible artist. They make music for this guy called Jonathan Glazer. And Jonathan Glazer won an Academy Award last year for like, I can't remember the name of the film, but like his film anyway. And I've known Mika for a long time, and I wrote a music video for them and like the people they work with. And we were trying to find money, so they just sent me someone at the BBC. The people at BBC invited me for a meeting. They were like, "We want you to make a feature film." I was like, "From where?" I was like, nah, man, I'm okay. I don't want to.
I'm just a director.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself.
So, yeah.
I don't want to. I
You know
don't
what it
want
is to
be the
make a
guy-
film.
Exactly. I don't want to now be the guy that embarrasses everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll make a short film. So we made a short film, Lizard, which is on the iPlayer. Like, it's free for everybody to see. TV license or no TV license is free for you to go.
iPlayer.
BBC iPlayer, yeah, it's there. Like,
I'm gonna go
you
watch
can-
that tonight.
and we made Lizard. It was about my experience of going to church in Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, church for me, I'm like I said at the beginning, I go to Sunday school every weekend, right? And in Sunday school, church was just long. It was like 2-3 hours, you know? And I was
It's
just
just
like,
something that you had to, as a child, just something that you had to kick off.
yeah, bro.
It's
Like every
it's it was like a chore.
every Christmas we're
Yeah.
in church. Every New Year's you're in church, and the service goes on for hours. And depending on what sort of church you go to, so me during church, I would take the offering money. I would go to the booker and like buy food with the offering money.
Wait. let them understand the context. When you say you're taking the offering money, not the offering money of the old church.
No. The money that
The money that your
my
parents
mom
gave you.
The money my mom would give me like to do offering.
Because people would say, "What, you was the one collecting the offering?"
No. I wish. No. So when we would arrive in church, my mom would give us like, I don't know how much it was, like however much for you to put money.
Just put money,
right?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, yo, like, I'm hungry. You know, I'm sure God doesn't want me to be hungry. So I'm going to go to the canteen and buy one Fanta and buy some small chops or whatever.
Buy Scotch egg. I don't know if Scotch egg was
Exactly.
popular at that time.
I think they did really good rice, like smoky jollof or whatever. You know, it was banging. So obviously I didn't do it all the time because actually getting out of Sunday school was the first mission. You know, excuse me, sir, can I go to the toilet? No. Okay, well, I guess I'm sat here. Oh, excuse me, I don't feel so well. Oh, I think I have a running stomach. Okay, you can go.
Or just sleeping out.
When you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't come back to the end of service, you're fine. Nobody's going to come and find you. But getting out was the first obstacle. So I would always find a way to get, my mom said I should bring something for, you know? I was very
Or
mischievous.
maybe
basically.
the pastor just stepped out quickly and then
Exactly.
you're gone.
You need to make a break for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was Lizard. I would walk around church and see a bunch of things. So, but Lizard is set from the perspective of a little girl because the best actor we found was a little girl.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, a little girl like in the Nigerian church setting.
Yes.
In Nigeria or in the UK.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing.
So me
Check
and Wale
that out,
wrote that.
Okay.
And we won like the top award at a film festival called Sundance. We won the number one award in Sundance Film Festival. It was COVID, so we didn't get to go. So then after that, I was like, Wale, let's revisit that thing you wrote, My Father's Shadow. Let's make it into a feature film. And then we developed it, and that's the genesis of how it all came together.
Crazy.
Amazing story, amazing film. Obviously, like we were speaking about at the beginning, where this cultural exchange between Nigeria and the UK. Shokwe Dirisu, I would say an amazing actor.
Very
great
amazing
actor.
Yeah.
But why him though? Because people would argue and say he wouldn't this is someone that is British born. He wouldn't necessarily be authentic to that kind of struggle.
Yeah.
So just asking you as a dad.
Yeah, no.
You
I love
understand what I'm saying?
That's a very, very.
It was not. It's not
Watching
people.
him in Gangs of London.
Yeah.
it's that-
Seeing him in that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give props to say he did an amazing job.
From
Yeah.
the trailer that I seen,
He did,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just being able to embody it in the way he embodied it in terms of like, obviously it will always be like the intonation. People would never really look at the acting or the
100%.
talent. What people is the intonation, is it
100%.
authentic.
100%.
So why Shokwe Dirisu?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So first of all, I would say because Shokwe is extremely talented, right? And I'd seen him in different things. He's in a film called His House on Netflix, a horror film. He plays a Sudanese refugee.
Okay.
Wow. With Wumi, who won a BAFTA on Sunday as well. They play a Sudanese couple who take somebody's child. Anyway, watch the film. I don't want to ruin it. It's on Netflix. His House. It's made by a Sierra Leonean guy called Remy Weeks. And I'd seen him in that, and I was like, wow, his performance in that was crazy. Like, so good. They have post-PTSD. So like the way they come to England as migrants and like everything is just a myth, basically. So they have PTSD. So I'd seen him in that, and I was like, wow, he's an incredible actor. So, but one thing I would say is like in the construction of a film, in order to get the money you need to make a film, part of it also relies on the talent you have in the film, right? So to your question, maybe we could have gone to Nigeria and just cast locally. Yeah. But the issue is,
which is what the popular consensus would be.
Yeah,
like.
But the issue is the fact that all the money comes from the UK. Is like, we need money to make the film, and they don't know actors in Nigeria. Not to say that those actors aren't good.
Yeah, but yeah.
So what was like, okay, cool. How can we like what you guys do? How can we create a bridge that actually like enables us to work with like the most talented actors in Nigeria, but bring a name to the project who people in the UK know, who comes with a certain level of value, and we can just create that bridge together, right? And we looked at loads of names, and Shokwe was, we looked at Chiwetel, Chiwetel.
Yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, he was 12 Years a Slave, really incredible actor. But Shokwe's profile was younger, a little less known, but a little on the come up, and also then I met him.
Fulham.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I like that. Let's use that analogy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's one thing. The financing of it is quite important.
Of course, it's a business at the end.
He's super talented. Let's just park that.
Yeah.
But then you have to think of the financing. And then I think on a sort of more human level is that I needed somebody who equally was interested in creating that bridge with Nigeria. Somebody who's willing to come from an industry that maybe people in Nigeria think is somewhere they would like to be, but maybe they don't have the opportunity because of the passports we have, right? So it's like, how can you bring someone and how can you do an exchange? So Shokwe being such an artist that is on the come up in the UK, him lending himself to a project like this meant we can also put a spotlight on the rest of the talent. Because my cast is actually stacked for My Father's Shadow. Like everybody in the film is a lead in a Nollywood film in their own right. So when you see the film, you start recognizing like faces and stuff.
Yeah, even this guy from Boss the Boss is there. The guy that was working in the restaurant. From the big guy working in the restaurant.
Teddy. Teddy, and he's incredible in the film.
Yeah.
Uzo Amaka, she's in loads of films as well. She was the lead in a film called Mami Water, which won in Sundance as well. She's incredible. Like all these people are just like really incredible. But also, lastly, Shokwe was also very insecure about his him even taking that position, because he's like, oh, maybe another Nigerian could do it. But I think him being insecure about whether he's the right person to do it, the intonation, the language, all those things, he rose to the challenge. He wanted to do even more to prove not only to himself as an actor, but to those in Nigeria how important it is for him to be involved in a story like this, because it also becomes a springboard for other actors in the UK and in the US to want to come back and make films in Nigeria.
Makes sense.
Because for a lot of people who are in the diaspora, whether they're here or in America, some of them don't have any contact with Nigeria.
There's no contact.
And some of them, maybe they don't want to have contact with Nigeria, but some want to have contact with
Nigeria. I feel it's the later now. People are trying to
go back,
connect with whichever way they can, which I believe, yes, we can pack that he's an amazing actor, is Nigerian. We can pack that up there and also still say this is someone that people in the diaspora can relate to.
Completely.
Yeah, this is someone, it's someone,
that's what you do especially when you look at movies as well. It's like you see the actors and he's a good actor, I'm going to watch it.
100%.
Can I relate to this person? Which is for maybe someone like you guys, like, British born Nigerian.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. So when you first spoke to him about this role, bringing him on board, what was his reaction like?
Do you know what? Like, we met in a park in South London, and we just met to chat.
You be seeing that guy in random places. No, I'm being serious. One day I saw him on the overground in Peckham. I was like, and he's tall. Like,
man.
You can't hide himself.
Shokwe's just a regular guy. He's just a wonderful human being. Yeah. So we met because I made a list, and then I swear down, I think maybe Gangs of London was coming for another series. I saw him on a bus. I was like, oh, maybe this guy can do it. And then I sent his picture to my brother. And my brother was like, isn't this the guy that just punching people up in Gangs of London? I was like, no, but I've seen him in his house. I think he can do it. So I sent it to the team, and the team were like, oh yeah, we love him. We think he could be the one. So then I was like, okay, let me meet. So we organized and we met for like a coffee in the park or whatever. And then we just spent like a couple of hours together just talking, just on a level. Not even so much about the film, just like our upbringings, all this type of stuff. And we had a very strange altercation with someone in the park. Like this guy was trying to sit with us. Obviously, we're having a meeting. So the guy black guy tries to sit with us. We bring his laptop out. We're like, sorry, like we're having a meeting. Do you mind? He's like, okay. So then he dips. Within like an hour, he comes back and he was like, I'm going to sit here. Like, I'm a brother too. I'm going to sit here. How can you guys tell me not to sit here? And
that's London for you.
Yeah, and then Shokwe, the way Shokwe just pacified the whole situation, he was like, look, man, we didn't mean to offend you, you know? We're just having a meeting here and we know there's other tables. So it's not like there's nothing against you wanting to sit here. Like, please sit here. But, you know, we were just having a private conversation and like, whatever. And the guy was super chill about it. And at that point, I was like, you know, I know guys in that situation, I would have rigged for the guy, man. Just be like, yo. Exactly, you know?
Well, we said,
exactly. It would have been more like on site.
100%.
And just in that moment, I was like, wow, okay. Like, I love his temperament. You know, I can bring this back to Lagos because like, if you come with it, like, move from it and you take that back to Nigeria. Like that doesn't work very well in Nigeria, basically, because you can't fight fire with fire in Nigeria. You know, you have to have
very diplomatic.
You have to be diplomatic, and I could see immediately. Oh, okay, this guy is very diplomatic. The way he carries himself, and he's a big guy. Like, all you have to do is just form for the guy a little bit, and okay, I'm going. No worry, I don't want to say it, but he didn't use any of that. He was very like. Just very human, like very chill. And I think at that point I was like, you know what? I already know he's a good actor, so I'm happy to just get to know him as a friend because I think his personality is something I can relate with. Basically, that was the conversation. And then he auditioned for us.
Okay, so he would still have to audition.
100%. Everybody always has to. For me, everybody has to audition because I think
whether they're gonna get the part or not.
Whether they have to get the part. Is it called like doing like it's not a screen test, but like because you want. Even if I think somebody can do it, you still have to
translate it on screen.
Yeah, but you also have to convince your execs. You know, like I can say I have a cousin who's an amazing actor, and I know he's the best amazing actor. But they don't know. Like they still have to. They have to
show working.
Exactly.
I got a star in drama.
No way.
Yeah. I actually wanted to be an actor. That was my first love before I entered the entertainment side of things. I was in EastEnders in 2015.
Come on.
They gave me a role. I didn't get it. Then because of my energy and personality, they just said, listen, we have this next role.
Yeah.
If you want it, we'll give it to you.
Amazing.
I was flying. Then I went up for audition for Roots. I didn't get that. And I feel like that's where it broke me. I was like, I showed you my toes. What you
and then, I said I showed you my toes for free.
But you know the way they were talking to me, I thought I got it. But then I feel like that's where it just went. But now,
it's a very difficult industry, though. It's not easy.
Acting is not. That's what I'm saying. People see it online on TV and think that it's not as easy as it. You could be the best actor. Like that's why I asked what the audition because it's like you know he's a good actor, but you still got to convince because the executives will be like, we don't really think he's got that thing that we're looking for. Now you're gonna have to go, and he's a sick actor. It's not as easy.
And he's saying it out,
and especially actors. The places they have to go for performances is like just deep emotional places, you know. So I can understand why after something like that you would quit, but I feel like to be like a black person or whatever in the industry, you have to have the thicker skin.
And
you have to just keep going because I'm gonna say your experience is 80% of your experience is gonna be rejection.
100.
You know, and 20% will be the wins you have. Maybe like 15% of those wins won't be the level you think you can be at,
100%.
you know, and maybe 5% will be the most amazing.
And that's exactly
situations
what
to
my
be in.
agent said to me.
Yeah.
He was just like, listen, I'm telling you, just keep going. I'm just like, bro, like, how? Like,
You show them your toes.
in my heart, I was like, I gave everything. And he was just like, listen, mate, you got.
I think it's even more.
Listen, mate, you gotta get a pedicure over there.
You got to keep going.
I'll
man.
go
I'm
again.
gonna send you on another audition.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. But yeah, no, acting.
I
is
think
not-
it's even more difficult to be an actor than to make it in football, because in football you can play for many teams,
It's true.
but to get like a big movie as an actor is
It's not- yeah, it's hard.
it's
It's
very
hard.
difficult.
I agree.
It is very
'Cause
difficult.
You know Letitia, right?
Letitia,
I don't know her
yeah.
personally, but yeah, love
I
it.
was in a film with her in Victim, so I knew her before she blew.
Yeah.
But she was always like, so when I see her in Wakanda,
Mm.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
she worked.
She kept going.
She didn't give up.
She showed toes and
She showed toes, got rejected. I said, yo, I'm gonna show them again. And let's
Yeah.
keep-"
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
That's the thing. That's why people ask me like, "Oh, what advice do I give to the young filmmakers?" I'm like, you have to be delusional, because
I said it on my stand-up the other day. Delusion is
the
underrated.
level of rejection you have to deal with, the level of like gaslighting or whatever you have to deal with, is like, you just have to know like who you're doing it for and just be committed to doing it, come rain, come shine, basically.
100%.
And I can understand a lot of people after a while, just like pride is like, my pride won't let me keep taking all these rejections, you know, taking these L's, you know. I get it, you know. But that's why the people who make it, like, that's why they're so good.
Good, because they did
Because
it
they've
up.
dealt with so much rejection that it's just like they've also become the amazing talent that they have because they just kept on going.
Hardest part about being a director.
Hardest part about being a director.
Just before you touch on that,
Sure.
like a quick, I think it's like a synopsis.
Yeah.
Let the people know what the story is. Just
For
short
My
me-
Father's Shadow.
My Father's Shadow.
Yeah,
what
sure.
the story itself is
Sure.
about. And obviously, this is coming out on Friday. Lagos Meets London episodes drop every Friday.
Yeah.
I think it's still in the cinema.
Still in the
this
cinemas.
weekend.
Yeah, for about another week or so.
Oh, okay, so is there still? Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
it was supposed to be to this weekend, but there's more screenings next week.
Is
Then
it
do you go
different?
to like Prime or something? Or...
Then eventually it'll be on Mubi,
Okay.
the platform Mubi.
Okay, so eventually it will be on movie.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So the film is about two kid brothers. They spend a day with their father, you know, who they don't see very regularly. And then he takes them on a day trip into Lagos. It's their first time in Lagos. So they get to see their father from a different perspective. Like the father who they hardly know, they see how he has to interact with people in Lagos. They see him trying to get his wages, the hoops he has to jump through to provide for the family. They sort of question his absence, try and hold him accountable in as much as they can as children. And they have this sort of magical day. But that day is also the day that the 93 election results been announced. And once the announcement comes, like everything kicks off, and then he has to get them back home.
And that's the journey of him trying to get them back home
Yeah, so,
through the riots and stuff.
well, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I've given you such a good synopsis because I've hardly given, even though I've told you, I've hardly given it away, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a beautiful journey of going into Lagos, seeing Lagos for the first time, and then everything turns.
I feel like why so many Nigerians can relate to that story. Me personally, near tears, I would say, but I'm still a hard guy. It's just understanding.
I'm dead.
It's just understanding. Me
I'm
growing
still
up,
a hard guy.
growing up in Lagos, it's
Yeah.
just my parents. I would never really see them because they would walk like on the island, and we're living further like in the mainland, but they would only come home in the night. They'll have their own keys, but you
Yeah.
don't really know who they are because
Yeah.
they're working
Yeah.
this long hours.
You're not asking your father, like,
Yeah, like
don't
you're not
ask
like,
those
well, where have you
questions.
been the whole morning? Like,
Nah.
it's basically you're practically being raised by the community around. you, and we
100%.
don't necessarily know who our parents are. My father said to me the other day, like, oh, he misses his own father. I was like, wow, like, he's never really spoken. It's just sort of
100%.
like that story. And for me, I also have a younger brother, it was always me and my younger brother when my
Yeah.
parents had gone to work during
Yeah.
the day. So it was
Yeah.
always me and my younger brother just sort of navigating life.
100%.
And this is what we know about our parents.
And,
So,
and what you said about that community that raises you is like, you know, is like the houseboy or the megad or the driver.
The woman that has a shop.
Or the woman that has a shop.
Yeah.
But what we also realize is those people also have families.
Yeah.
And their families are even further away, you know?
That's crazy.
Because whenever like the driver would go home for Christmas, you'd be like, oh, what did you do? Oh, I saw my children. I was like, bro, you have children.
Mom,
like, when do you see your
the
children? Because you're with us the whole time. So these are a lot of the questions and themes in the film that we're always trying to sort of navigate.
Loads of themes. It just took me back. It's just even with the scene where it's like, if you don't buy it for your younger brother, you're not buying to. That was something like the first time my parents were just teaching us the kind of like brotherhood, me and my younger brother, is like, if you don't let your junior brother play, you're also not playing the game, kind of thing.
100%.
Those were the kind of values that they were trying to instill.
My mom was like, Wale, you have to take your brother with you. Like, if you're going to go and play video games in the house, you have to take your brother with you.
You have to take, otherwise you're not going.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, just to, like you've said, the story is still in the cinemas. It's going to be on Mubi. So please, if you're a Nigerian here in the diaspora, or just sort of wanting to understand a little bit of that part of history. So please make sure you're watching the movie. Check out the movie.
100%.
If you can't make it to the cinema, it's going to be on Mubi.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch it. And to go back to this question.
Your question, what's the hardest part of being a director? You know, I'm pretty established now, but what I would say the hardest part... what I would say the hardest part is the beginning of the process.
Okay.
Is convincing yourself that whatever resources I have, I can use them to make a film, you know, or then convincing people with those resources, like I'm making a film with this thing, you know. People are very good at talking about their ideas. Trust me, after Sunday, I have so many people in my DMs thinking they have the next big film, you know. And I'm like,
Nigerian, like African stories, or just like stories?
Bro, everybody has a story to pitch, you know. But the thing is, what my friends, I don't know if I can swear on this, but my friend's always like, Akin, don't be a dickhead, you know what I mean? Because she's always saying to me, like, stop responding to people online, you know, like, because you don't know who they are, and you know, they don't know your personality as well. Because most of the time I'm like, yo, you have this, it might be a great idea, but like, you don't need me. Like, you should go and try and make the thing. Try and make the thing, because the fact that you'd have tried to make the thing is probably the reason why I would get to meet you. You know?
And then,
you know,
don't just bring it to me.
Don't just bring it to me. Like, try and make the thing, because when I started off, right, and it's gonna sound like an old man or whatever, like iPhones weren't as good as they are now. No. You know, we were shooting everything on DSLRs, like 5D, you know, like 5D was a Canon 5D was such a game changer or whatever at the time. But now you have a smartphone that you can shoot 4K, you know?
This movie was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. There's bare movies shot on iPhone. You don't. Crazy. The quality is so good that you could just make a 5-minute movie of just you and your homies on a phone. So, like, I think a lot of it is the motivation to actually just do the thing. Like, I don't know if you know Elijah, he does a thing, Elijah and Skillingham, and he has this yellow post-it note. It's just like, you know, close the app, make the thing, you know? Like, stop spending your time on Instagram.
Just looking for alley-oop.
You know what I mean?
Looking for someone.
Looking for an alley-oop. You know? And I think that's the most difficult part, is like the beginning of every idea is like, okay, let's just write, you know? Like, so me and my brother were going away in a couple of weeks to write, and I think in my head, I'm like, it's going to be so hard to write this next film or whatever. But I think the moment you start writing it, it just starts to fall out of you or whatever. And you just need to, that's the hardest part. It's like...
Walking, obviously, you filmed everything in Lagos.
Yeah, or Ibadan.
Lagos and Ibadan. Yeah. So how was that like? That was the experience like? Obviously, you had to bring Shopware Dirisu down. What was that whole experience like? Just bringing the movie to life in Lagos.
Bro, it was. I wish we'd made a making of.
Like a BTS documentary of this.
There was a guy, in all honesty, there was a guy doing BTS, but he was just interested in filming me. The camera was on. I was like, bro, like,
there's so many.
go and film. Like, he's just doing these sweeping shots from the bottom. Every time I see him, I'm just like,
drip.
I'm like, guy, I was like, please tell BTS not to come back tomorrow, man. Like, the guy is spinning me out. But it was great, man. It's the best experience of my life, if I'm honest, because I made a film in Nigeria in 2015. It was the first time I worked with my brother as him being my producer. It was about kids skating in Nigeria. I had the best day. We had like £1,000 to make a music video. And it was the best day of my professional career at that point. Because we were shooting in Nigeria, it was like pure
Is this
freedom.
one for like the Lagos kids? It was for ID or something like that?
No, I think they did one afterwards. Mine was a music video.
Oh, okay.
It's for UK Red Light. I think it's called, Lessons or something like that. And it was just these kids skating in the National Stadium in Surulere, and then we went to downtown Lagos, and it was just the best day. And I was like, wow, I want to make films in Nigeria. So since then, we've been making films in Nigeria. I went to Kaduna, to Zaria in the north to make a film. I went to Nsukka in the east to make a fashion film. We made Lizard in I don't know Badagry, but in mainland, and then this one. So we've been working with the film community and local
Nigeria,
community in
really?
Nigeria for over 10 years.
Okay.
So we have a service company. It's called We Are Fatherland. For any filmmaker, any documentary filmmaker, any producer who's interested in making work in Nigeria, we're a resource for people to come. We help people get visas. We help people with accommodation on shoots if they want to do commercials. So like
there's a structure already.
There's a structure already,
yeah, okay,
effectively,
yeah.
right? And our structure is not like we don't go to communities with like armed security, because that's already setting a precedence of just saying like, there's us and then there's you, you know? We work with everyone. So my film, you have to get through 7 layers to be able to shoot a film in anywhere in Lagos, right? There is the neighborhood watch. There's the Lagos state government. There's the police. There's the military. If you're shooting in downtown Lagos, there's like the CBD, like patrol people. There is local wherever local council or whatever you're with,
and they're the most important one.
Yeah, and then there's the area boys.
Those are the most important ones.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that. I was like, wait, you're not gonna include the area boys.
Yeah. So we work with all of them. So in fact, loads of the films that I started making quite early on, the people in my film are they're the top area boys in my film, right? But we work with them because like people in my locations or people in whatever, they knew them growing up.
Okay.
So to be Nigerian, if I come to your house and meet your parents, if I come to your house and your parents are in, I have to greet your parents, right?
Yeah.
If I go to your village, I have to go and greet the person who runs the village.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with area boys. You have to
check in. You have to
check in. Some money might have to exchange hands.
Yeah.
But what we do as Fatherland is we go to the head of the area boys and be like, yo, we're doing this project. We want to hire you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys will carry boxes. You guys will move equipment. You guys will cordon off areas. I will give you name tags. We'll give you 3 meals a day and we'll pay you at the end of the day. Okay. Do you know what I mean? I swear to God, you give an area boy 3 meals a day, you pay them, you give them a lanyard with their name, best security you ever have.
What?
Ever.
And that's their area.
Yeah. Because ultimately, like the reason why they're so gragged is because they're looking for the next meal. You know, they don't know where their next meal is going to come. But if you tell them, yo, we're going to come back every day for the next 5 weeks.
That's guaranteed.
Like those guys, after week 1, when you come back every day, they're the first people there because they know breakfast, what time the catering starts.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
We went to Lagos. I can't remember where we went. I was with Wole or Joe in Nigeria, and that's that exact thing that you just explained. Is because we was like, oh, what? We're not gonna go with Mopo. He said, no, we're gonna go there. We're gonna check in with the area boys.
100%.
And when we got with the area boys, everything was
seamless.
Yeah. The thing that people get wrong about shooting in Nigeria is like, hey, if you turn up with Mopo, you've already created a situation where like we're not going to give you guys anything. We want you guys stay over there.
Yeah.
And that's what agitates them because it's like, yo, you're using our community as a backdrop.
You have
but
to,
like,
do
you know what I mean?
After us.
So we decided very early on the way we want to work is not an easy way to work because it, you know, like anything can pop off at any time. More often than not, it actually doesn't. You know, the people you think are going to cause trouble are the people who actually are the ones who hold you down. the trouble we had was more from authorities than anything else, from like rogue authorities who wanted to say that they're the sort of the big people around or whatever. But the area boys, we never had a problem with them. They worked with us. And that's the way we like to work, you know.
It makes sense.
Not everybody wants to work like that, but we realize if you work like that in Nigeria, one is you're pouring back into Nigeria. You're not extracting from Nigeria. You're giving people structure. You're giving them work. You're treating them with a certain level of dignity that doesn't happen when you turn up with Mopo, because it's like we don't care. We are here with our guns. So that's why whenever I see people post up with like military people, I'm just like, yo, that's not the flex you think it is. Because when I was growing up, the military weren't cool. It's like the whole FELA of the whole situation.
Yeah.
The military aren't cool. Like, you know, like they maybe their image has undergone a little bit of a transformation, but like that's not the flex, because ultimately
it's like a sign of oppression. Like you said, you're just creating that like, oh, we're here with our foreign money and you're
completely.
locals. Yeah.
And again, if that's how people want to work, that's completely on them. But the way we've decided to work is that we know that the places we want to shoot, the stories we want to tell, we need access to those places, and we need the blessing of the people who live in those places to give us access. I shot a music video in Makoko on 35mm. That's on celluloid, on film. I took a Swedish cinematographer, a Mexican. He's a Mexican and Swedish assistant. I took them to the largest floating slum in Africa to shoot a music video, and we had the best time ever. So much so, the day we wrapped, we were in one shanty building or whatever. The Mexican guy was having the best time. Everybody was like dancing together. You know, I was like, oh God, please don't let this building capture in the water.
In the water.
You know?
Lagos has a soul, man. Lagos can be beautiful if you navigate it properly.
Man.
Yeah.
There's no place like Lagos. Lagos is the most intoxicating city in the world, at least for me. Maybe the second places like Rio. I've been fortunate enough to go to Rio, but I don't speak Portuguese, so I can't really
tap in.
I can't tap in that way, you know. But Lagos is just what Lagos offers is just an experience like no other. Like there's no place in the world. Nigeria in general, like Nigeria offers an experience that's completely unique. Sure.
It's been an amazing conversation.
We could go on for days.
Go on, but I was gonna ask you about the relationship with your brother, because I see that you guys are very close knit. But maybe sometime in the future we can get both of you in the studio. We can all have a
man. Just to say, I love my brother, man. Like he's someone I looked up to. The fact that he moved back to Nigeria to pursue music was what encouraged me to be braver about like pursuing filmmaking.
Okay.
He's always been like my biggest supporter, and vice versa. And but even the last thing to say is I think like it's really important. I appreciate you guys for having me on, man, because I think it's really important.
No, come on, man.
This story is
no, but I know, but like I'm not even saying this to bread you guys up, but like what you guys are doing in terms of like bridging the gap is super important, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the days where it doesn't seem like it's important, I guarantee you to someone is really making a difference. And I always say in the cinema that like the biggest advocates for a film like our film are you guys and the audiences that go and see the film, because we don't have those big marketing budgets, you know, like, so it's incumbent on us to have a space to vice versa, to platform you guys and you guys to platform us, so we can leverage the audience to try and see the film as much as possible. So I appreciate you guys, man.
My friend who has seen this movie twice, actually, she said she went to see it once herself, and she took her family to go see it.
Oh wow.
She just had a question.
Sure.
I'll just read that out.
Yeah.
So one thing she said two things. It's like a double entendre. I think things I would want to know is why they decided to shoot the film in film, which I sort of understand. You're trying to capture. Well, I'll let you answer that, and then what the key message you would want any audience who has watched it to take home.
Sure.
Shout out to Ukukoi. She is the founder of the All Nigerian Pop Quiz, which, like you said, is also an avenue where we're creating spaces where that feels like home here in the diaspora. So,
So the first question is why on film?
Yeah.
On film, because I think film is the most beautiful format, and I think Nigerians need to see themselves on the most beautiful format. I think Lagos needs to be shot on the most beautiful format. And I think our stories need to be on the most beautiful format because I think we deserve it. I think something changes when you see a representation of yourself in the most beautiful way, and people from a different community, whether English or whatever, they also it starts to change their perception of you when they see you in the most beautiful format as well. And then the second question was?
The second question is what would you like anyone that's watched this to take away from the movie?
Okay, from the movie itself, just to have a little bit more empathy for our parents, have a little bit more understanding of why they are the way they are, because it's for a reason.
Very true.
And equally to understand that being vulnerable there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. Is actually a bit of a superpower. And vulnerability has the capacity to bring people closer together, to make people understand a little bit more of themselves. And yeah, that's what I'll probably say.
All right, thank you so much, Akinola
worries,
Davies Jr. for joining us with Lagos Miss London. When
If
we're
you ever
back,
have a film here that you need,
they don't need nothing.
not him.
They don't need. Okay, you
You can't.
Yeah,
have a film that just say, I might need an extra that is UK and
No doubt.
I'll still send my screen recording everything.
You still show toes.
No
Yeah.
toes, no toes.
When we,
I'll spare you from showing
he
toes.
said you can wear socks or Crocs.
Yeah.
When we're outroing our episodes, they all say Lagos Miss London, and we like our guests to say Wahala.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the good way though, in
Yeah.
the mellow.
Yeah.
So Lagos Miss London.
Wahala.
Come on, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Make sure you lot are liking, commenting, and subscribing.
And make sure you see the movie. Amazing story. And let us know your feedback in the comment section.
We love
Thank you so
y'all.
much, guys. Yeah, cheers.